Welcome to another exciting episode
of ZoeTV.
ZoeTV.
Here we are.
And there's no better way to start another show. We're not live this week. Last week was live.
Right.
And that was fun.
Oh, and we nailed it.
We always do. We have one take.
Right.
One take. We could be live all the time.
We could be.
But we're not live. But we have an amazing first guest. Back to two guests. The first one takes priority. Our resident of inspiration,
yes.
Marlene Christian.
And she is inspiring.
She is inspiring so much that this is her second nomination.
Unreal.
We said we would do it. We wanted to keep spreading the wealth, but when your name came across, I wasn't going to stop it because you are so deserving of a second nomination. We ran with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was surprised. I just saw sitting on my couch watching your program. And all of a sudden, my name pops up, and I thought, you've got to be kidding.
No joke.
No joke. Well, you are active on this campus, and we have a lot of new residents that have moved in that might not know you or your backstory. So spend a few minutes and just tell everybody how you got to Glencraft. How did you find us, and some of the journey you've been on.
Well, I was born in Michigan, and my husband went to college in Michigan, put us in Ann Arbor, and put us in Long Beach, California.
Ooh, and nice places.
From Boeing, we went to Douglas over in Spokane.
Okay.
And lived there for 20 years, raised our 5 children, and decided to retire here in this area. We went to Sun City West and lived there about 15 years. My favorite place to live. And besides Glencraft.
There we go. I was just waiting for your sentence to end.
We continue now.
Yes.
And my husband was with me here. He passed away after 5 years. And we got really settled in. We sort of did our own thing at that time. And after he passed away, I decided to get involved and meet the people.
And you have.
Well, you got an amazing court.
Yes.
Everybody loves on their court and says they have the best court, but I'm going to let you talk about your court because I really do think you have a special area.
Well, it's a complete turnover. I've been here 13 years, so it's even the new CEO, and now it's the second new CEO. So it's a big change when they change, but it's been all good.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
I have to give a lot of credit to you, Steve, for all your energy, and
well, I will pay you your $5 when we're done.
Yeah, don't clap, just throw money.
Well, it's hard not to have energy around this place because you guys provide all of the ammo. Well, we kind of sit and we call it like the laboratory in our minds of Randy and I and leadership of coming up with strategies. And you think they would do this? Yeah, they would do that. Let's try it. And you guys are the reason we do what we do, and it's you provide all of the energy to feed off of.
We can't be sober and just look at each other and complain.
No,
it's got to be a positive attitude.
If you want to do that, go somewhere else to live.
I think you bring a very powerful, positive attitude to this place.
Well, you are involved in a lot. You aren't one to sit around and do nothing.
More or less.
You drive off campus quite a bit.
Yes, I do.
I know you have a heart for helping all of the residents, and I know for a fact you run errands with people, for people.
Now be careful when you say
that.
My
bad. Yeah. She doesn't do that very often. She's booking about a year out.
Right.
But you do help everyone. I mean, you have a heart for.
Well, if they just need a little run to the corner store, I mean, who could say no?
Yeah, that's right. So you have amazing neighbors in your court that look after each other.
Yes, they do.
That's very cool. I think that's what changes perspective of a new resident when they move in is when they have that immediate knock on the door, like the old school, here's a pie, and I welcome to the neighborhood mentality, and it's refreshing. I mean, we see new people that I moved in yesterday, and I got 10 new people I'm eating lunch with today.
Right, and that is true about you. You're never alone.
Well, and even during COVID, when we had won the pies, we would have coffee and pie at our house. And come on in, so we'd all sit there with the pie and sneak out the doors.
Yes, it really makes the difference, though. The friendships really do carry you on.
Swimming is fun. I really enjoy. I get a fantastic workout with a swing.
Yeah.
I like the water, but it's much easier to work your aching bones in the water than it is.
Absolutely.
Good. I am glad you mentioned that. The pool, we try to mention it a lot because It's honestly, I talked to residents, it's a lot of the reason people move here is because we have the chairlift to get in the water, and we have supervised classes in the pool where it's safe.
Supervised classes are excellent right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're right there and very attentive, and we have a good time.
Yeah, I would say that's an understatement.
You know, I have that little bit of kid in me.
That's a good
organized middle school chaos.
Yes.
In the pool.
It's good to keep that.
It's supposed to be in our second childhood.
Yeah,
so.
but you know what? You can't put a price tag on laughing.
No.
And we get the music loud in there, and we splash and throw balls around that pool, and it's just
good,
fun.
It's good exercise with that arm.
Yeah, that's right. Good. Yeah. Everybody's getting a lot more power.
It's fun and exercise.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm glad you mentioned the pool. I think anybody that has moved in and you haven't been in the pool, please reach out to us and let us know, because we can tell you the classes we're doing, and they got an amazing women's group in the mornings that are resident led, and they got quite a following. And
I went to that when we first started. For a while.
Yeah, and they've got quite a group. They very consistent.
The pool is always busy. Yeah. I am always impressed.
It never used to be.
It didn't.
When I first came, there was not people in the pool.
No, I agree. Even when I first came, yes.
There's a very strong change on that one.
That's cool. That's good to know, because that was one of the initiatives that we wanted with ZoeLife, is to use that asset, because it is truly, like, we do tours all the time, and to have that safe of pool with the bars in the water and the chairlift to get in and temperature controlled, and it of course has ups and downs in terms of things can go wrong. You know, we've had some temperature thing, but you know, Mark and his team work diligently to make sure that things are corrected fast, and it's clean, and the city maintains it and make sure we're checking every box. And so we encourage everyone to participate.
Well, and by having the classes, it makes you go.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right.
Otherwise you're accountable. It's easy to stay home.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to have a mental thinking of you've got to go.
All right, so before we get to your nominee and run out of time, I want you to talk a little bit about the art class that you've participated in, and you were a part of Beta 3 back on the Magic Box. Right. So why don't you tell those that are still waiting on the waiting list, and we're going to be picking names next week, what kind of perspective you have on that?
Well, that is a great program. I mean, terrific. And I felt like I had stones on the bottom of my feet that I was walking on, and they're a lot better now. And my legs have had some neuropathy, and that has improved.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I need to go back for sure.
I know.
Because I do have some knee issues right now, but
what's nice is, and this is what we say with the boxes, we got 12 sessions with you, and it's maintained pretty good. Now, there might be I need a tune-up, and we can get you in for a session or two, but it's getting this done in, you know, congruent fashion of session, and then you've done pretty well.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
That's a fantastic program.
And then about the art, I mean, I get questioned all the time what you guys are doing on the art.
Well, I'm not an artist at all. I can't paint a line, let alone a tree. So it's doing the on the tiles.
Yes,
that was fun because you actually created something that I never did with art.
And you can't mess it up.
I have a son that paints real well, but I just never had that dimension.
And well, your product turned out great.
Fun. It was fun to go, and I learned a lot. And I think it's a great opening for a lot of people. They hear about it, but not enough hear about it.
I know.
And
we're trying to figure out, because we actually paid for that out of our budget, and we wanted it to be included in the Parkinson's group, and then we've included it with the ZIP group, and it's been such a well-received thing that we're trying to navigate, okay, how do we get her out here, and even if residents pay for supplies and know that you have a seat at the table.
Well, and one of the questions that was brought up with the program the other night, when they had the new CEO, they brought up there's no painting, there's no artwork, and I thought, what do you mean there's no artwork here?
Right.
We've always had canvas painting before.
Right,
and
ceramics.
It was done where the offices were.
Yep.
And, you know, it has changed and fluctuated a bit, but it's there, and you just need to reacquire and speak up and ask.
That's right. That's great. Okay,
good point.
It's that time. I know you're sitting on a name.
I have not told her. So it's Marlene Ballinger.
Marilyn,
right?
And she's going to be shocked.
Oh, very good.
And I hope she's watching.
That is a great nominee.
She's a person that has everything intact and when and where and how to do it.
Yeah,
You're
she's
exactly
very
right.
organized.
She's misinformative.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she keeps us
She
with
keeps
our
you straight.
tickets when we go.
She keeps us in line,
You
too,
know
which I
what?
like.
We can't tell her until we got to let her.
Yeah, we gotta
find
let her
out on
see, yeah, yeah.
Monday
Hopefully
because
nobody
she
says it.
will find out. So it's just
Marilyn's a great nominee, and she's tight at your guys' hip and does a lot of the stuff. She was on the
gets
box. She's in the art.
She gets our tickets for us. She knows
Yeah.
exactly what we all want. She hands them out. Saves a lot of brain work on my part.
So from an inspiration standpoint, you picking her is because you can see her doing so much.
Well, and she works in different departments too. So she's very. And she comes to the gym. She's now
Yep,
doing
absolutely.
a good program in the gym, and she was saying how
Yes.
she really likes it. So she's impressed.
That
She
is so
really
good.
does try.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, she
agree.
does. I think it's a great
Good
nomination.
choice.
Absolutely. Well, Marlene, you are unbelievable. And you are our
We love
only
you.
two-time nominee, and it couldn't happen to a better person.
Well,
You've lived here a long time, but you keep reinventing your mark
That's
on this
right.
campus.
Going a little bit this way, but I'm not going to go there with my mind.
No, you're
great.
doing
Yeah,
awesome.
so.
So we appreciate you being
Well, thank
here.
you.
Awesome. This is an exciting segment because if there's a wingman that's not you,
Oh.
wing woman, you're my wing woman.
I'm the wing woman.
This is absolutely my wing man, Randy Lujan, who I have had the absolute privilege of getting to know over the last couple of years. And we started years ago with the idea of ZoeLife in Providence Place and our licensed areas, and having you come over and a little bit more in depth with me in ZoeLife and doing what we wanted to do from the beginning. It's been amazing. So I wanted to get into that, but thank you first for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You've been on the show before, but every time you're on, residents, I hear about it all the time. Randy is so smart. That's what I hear
Yes.
all the time.
And steadfast.
Yeah, Randy is so
You're
smart.
just
I said
reliable.
I know he's smart. No, like he's really smart. But you come across, because I hear a lot that residents understand you're so smart with the thing, but you convey it so well.
Yeah.
And you bring it down to the level that they're like, oh, I get it now. And so many physical therapists and doctors just talk way above their head, and they're like, I don't even know what's going on. You have that gift to like bring it down.
And be smart.
And be smart.
We were going to do this math test with you, or but
Ooh,
do we
yeah.
do that a different
No,
day?
we'll do it a little different day. The IQ stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Randy. So let's start talking about Zip, because Zip is our baby.
Yeah.
And I know it's your baby because you kept pushing for this in the buildings, in the licensed buildings, long ago.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't you give a brief explanation of how we did Beta 1 with Zip? Because we talked about it, and we had Nicole Ivy from AL come and talk.
Absolutely.
But from a rehab perspective, what were your thoughts of what we went through?
Well, why don't you explain what ZIP is? Because I think not everybody knows what ZIP stands for.
So ZIP, Z-I-P, the ZoeLife Immersion Program. So what ZIP is basically our version of boot camp, right? So we bring people on and we get them deep in muddy waters.
Yeah.
We're healthy eating to the utmost, right? Mediterranean
delicious.
diet, good food, right?
Mhm.
Good food. We are doing exercise programs, assessments, getting people exactly where they need to be, right? We're not just looking at somebody going, all right, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter. We're looking at individuals, and we're really working with them individually to meet their personal goals, and also goals that we look at, from afar and look at somebody and go, well, maybe we should lean your goal towards this because this is what we're seeing. They go, oh, wow, from a different perspective, yeah, that's absolutely what I'm feeling. So it gives us that opportunity to really get people involved, get them moving, get them understanding what ZoeLife is, right? Get them completely immersed in not the program or the training, but the lifestyle.
Yes,
Creating a new lifestyle around them so they can have a better quality of life and some longevity.
No, that's great. So we approached it because we were doing ZoeLife, but like you just said, we wanted to take a deep dive in this 30-day approach. And to us, the license areas was key because from an AL perspective, if we could, push that and move to the skilled back a little bit and age in place in that AL environment. And with our IL, it was the same narrative of can we keep you as long as we can in IL and figure out a game plan and strategy to keep you here. And skilled is let's keep you on whatever floor you're on and keep you not moving up in the building at your acuity level. So talk through what you saw from our license perspective.
So in the license perspective, you know, of course, in the skilled side, they struggled a little bit more, especially with the diet side of things, because, you know, like I say, they have already been stripped of a lot of their independence. And then we kind of move towards this, hey, now you're going to eat this super healthy stuff that may or may not be delicious to you. We think it's delicious, but what do we know, you know? And they struggled a little bit with that. But what we found is that it truly made a difference, right? It gave them the ability to learn from what they were eating and go, wow, I could make a little bit healthier choices now with the stuff that Barb did, you know, teaching them nutrition, not only throwing this food in front of them, but giving them some education about it. Why are we eating this? Yeah. The why to this, what we're doing, and answering those questions for them and giving them the ability to make these healthier choices. Giving them the ability to not only in that aspect, but the social connections. You know, having them eat together, having them all come together in this really cool small dining room that we created for them, having them just be there with people they may or may not have ever seen in their lives before, right? And building those social connections was huge. It was really something big, right? The exercise portion, of course, that's the easy portion because everybody loves the things we're doing. We have Gary in there doing drums and things like that. Brings a lot of excitement to the table. So that part makes it a little bit easier for us because everybody loves the fun. It's the food, right? The eating, the spiritual side, getting Stan in there and really getting them involved. And again, immersed in this just lifestyle of being spiritual, making healthy choices, making friends, being social, not just clammed up in your room and being alone and feeling alone.
Yes.
I think that's a great perspective because I think the conversations we had a lot with family members of perspective were, well, what I don't want is my mom or dad or grandma to be isolated and sitting in front of a TV, which I think, you know, is the usual thing in the industry. In that AL and skilled spaces, that happens quite a bit. And we're saying that can be so much more. The lifestyle and the idea of purpose and direction, and it's all relative to wherever they're at. So it's, and we saw it, you know, we spent 30 days and we had some hard moments where it was like, you know, I don't want to eat this and I'm pushing back hard on this. And then we had others that was like, this is what I've been begging for.
Give me more.
Yeah, give me more. Yeah. Okay, so good perspective there. We pivoted into Beta 2 on August 30th and we went into IL. And we worked directly with Charlene and us and we calculated, okay, who in IL would be a good candidate that is on the verge of possible an AL scenario. And let's just try this and let's look at food a little different. Instead of just plant-based, let's look at Mediterranean and offer a little bit of fish and chicken and have a little more options. And I know we're a couple weeks in and it is blowing us away.
It's great. Yeah. It is phenomenal. You know, seeing these people that when we approached them and said, hey, look, would you be interested? I mean, they were glowing. They were excited to be part of this. You know, we have people that come to the Performance Center. They're coming in and going, hey, you know, I know our workouts are on this day and this day, 2 days a week, but can I come down an extra day? Can I come down and do some more? You know, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, they're getting really into this and they're really loving, you know, not only the attentions they're getting individualized, but just the whole aspect of this lifestyle change that they have really been, you know, clawing at.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the idea of ZoeLife is available for everybody on this campus to the level in which you want to participate, right? You come in and you move in and you're like, I want to do ZoeLife, and we figure out your assessment times and we're figuring out making healthy choices and getting you to lectures. But this is a different scenario. This is a real deep dive with our strategic team coming around you and working with your family and working in real time to figure out scenarios of how you're navigating life. And such a, I always say, but it's just a deep dive into ZoeLife.
Really is.
And it's showing in the data. I mean, the data that we're pulling out of this thing, people are, you know, from a swelling standpoint, wearing jewelry again and able to walk a little bit further and feeling more confident. It just shows that this is the right model.
Absolutely.
Well, I know that you guys showed the movie Game Changers, the Game Changers, which is life-changing.
Amazing.
And over the weekend, I met a lady who is young and in really good shape and had 3 strokes since last March. And her neurologist at Barrow said, you need to change your diet. You need to go vegetarian, plant-based. And she said the swelling thing, already in a matter of a month,
Oh, yeah.
She was feeling better, and she goes like things that didn't fit. And I mean, it really is more about your life and how healthy you will be in every area when you change your eating habits.
Sure.
Well, and we don't like saying, and I know Barb hates it, it's like nails on chalkboard, but the word diet. Diet is not what this is about. It's a lifestyle. And when we say Mediterranean lifestyle, it is truly leaning on that plant-based approach with some, fish and chicken added, peppered in, but that Game Changers, it was so amazing to watch our residents, because that's part of ZIP, that you watch this movie together on your first nutrition class, and then you like want to run through a wall to go eat a plant-based meal, and you're like, never thought I'd do this, but we watched it last night with my kids, and because they want to get bigger, they're in football and high school, and they watched all these NFL players that are changing their eating habits to go plant-based, and all of these UFC fighters and boxers, and it's
early on, gladiators, that they could look at their bones and realize all the big, hunky, strong people were plant-based eaters.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually put this Game Changers back on our calendar and going to have it as an add-on to the university class. So if you didn't get to see it as a part of that ZIP group, we're going to have some options for you to come down to the university and watch it, because it is life-changing.
It is.
So with that being said, Randy, you have been integral in, obviously, ZIP, ZoeLife. Gerald left us. He went on to another job, and you've been really boots on the ground in the Performance Center. And absolutely. I know our new nominee, Marlene, will attest to this, how much you've moved the needle down there in terms of, your expertise on the clinical side. You bring so much to the table. But talk through your assessment strategies. Maybe if somebody had done an assessment with Gerald, it might be time to do a new one, maybe rethink the strategy down there. So talk about that.
Yeah, so what I like to do is I like to look at a person, not just their deficits, but the whole person, right? I like to see exactly what they're doing, and I want them to be involved in their goals. I could set goals for them all day, and they may or may not achieve anything from it, right? But if you really work with somebody and have them tell you what their true needs are, and you got to get people to open up to you a little bit, tell you the things that they really don't want to say, so we could really figure out those hard areas and how to get them stronger, and we're not doing like straight up therapy down there. We're doing programs, like real involved exercise programs that are getting people stronger and getting them to feel better, getting them to move better, getting them to eat better. That's one of our big topics of conversation down there. I had that conversation this morning. Somebody came to me and said, how do I prevent a stroke? I said, well, that's a loaded question.
Yes.
But you can start with a good, healthy eating plan.
Yes.
Well, I think that's important. I think that new residents coming in are excited about ZoeLife, and so they're making that phone call. But, there's a lot of residents that we've seen lately that had never been to the Performance Center.
Yeah.
And they're I've lived here for 6 months now, and I've never come by. And those are the ones that we're imploring, please reach out. And we're doing assessments every single day.
Every day. And we will work with you. The assessment is long. It's a long process. If you get tired, hey, guess what? We'll take a break. We'll pick up on another day. We're not going to kill you with this stuff. Yeah. We're going to get you down there, but once we get working, expect to work.
Yeah. Expect to work, and expect to have strategies that might involve the pool and might involve the magic box. It might involve some other tools that we think is appropriate, and to bring in and have the collaboration with Stan and Barb and everybody that kind of under that ZIP umbrella, that, it's one of those things that you might be a great ZIP candidate, and we'll put you on the list. We have a growing list for that. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you got to be, we're going to close out. We got a minute left, and we're going to close on this. You got to go to the university graduation last week. What was your thoughts, man?
Man, I thought it was awesome. Talk about people glowing. When they were coming across that podium, you could just see the smiles on their face. And I sat towards the back of the room, and you could see the smiles on their face. It was amazing, And being down in the university room afterward and talking to everybody, and just the laughter and the excitement, and the people that hadn't yet completed, the whole process to graduate, they're down there excited.
Right. Going, we have people coming up to us saying, I'm getting my
We're going to have quite a few coming off of this semester. And so, this semester is off and running. So if you have not signed up for classes, Because of COVID, we're obviously limiting how many can be in the room. Obviously, Channel 4 has them live every day, but turn that sheet into Michelle because it's filling quick. And I know in our first couple, people are just rolling in. I didn't sign up, but I want to do it. And we've had to push a few away because the room, we're keeping it to 20, and we open the Performance Center. You can watch in there. But you did an amazing job of getting amazing instructors.
Well, thank you. And being in person, I think really makes the difference. You get to feel the energy in the room. So
yeah, and a lot of I don't think we have very many instructors wanting to teach remotely.
No,
they are like, we want to be there as bad as your residents want to see us. I mean, that's a huge deal. So Randy, you're amazing. We're so glad you're over here.
We kind of
kidnapped you out of the building. Over at Providence Place, but you bring so many intangibles to the table of Zoe Life, and our residents, I hear about it daily. They're so excited you're down there, and again, they think you're smart. I know, we're just going to keep saying it. He's a smart guy.
He is a smart guy.
He's a smart guy. That's why I kind of I hang around and it might rub off on me a little bit.
It won't, but sorry.
All right, with that, we'll see you next time. And Marilyn Bellinger, we're coming for you.
Yes.